So now that you've seen what it's going to look like painted, I'm going to go ahead and show you how step by step. So, since this is a 27 megahertz system, you're going to need to remove this long, poke your eye out antenna. Set that aside someplace that you're not going to lose it. You're going to want to remove the battery cover. And then also, since it's a 27 megahertz system, you remove the crystal. And then the last thing you need to remove is a little spacer that is sitting down in the little antenna hole. And I found the best way to do this is just to take a flathead screwdriver and stick this in the little slot. Just be patient, it may take a minute, and then just pull up. So now that you've got everything that you need to take off, you can start actually unscrewing things. And you're going to want to unscrew all of these screws. And there's one more that's kind of hard to see right there. Sure if you can see it right there. So I'm going to speed this up in fast motion just so I don't bore you guys. But once you've got those on, I'll show you the next step. There. And something that I like to do that will help you not lose your screws, just a simple way to organize the screws, is just to lay them out somewhere in the exact places that they would be in the transmitter. You can kind of see how it kind of looks like the silhouette of a transmitter. Yeah. And then once you've got that done, I'll show you where the last and the hardest to find screw is. Then I noticed that there's a sticker here. So I peeled that back, and aha, there's the last screw. So just take that out, and you'll be ready to actually start digging into the remote and taking out the internals so you can actually just paint the two halves and all of the other internal parts that you're going to want to paint. There. So once you've got that apart, you can go ahead and just lay it down and carefully pick apart one half. So there you've got one half. This is the side where your crystal goes in, and this is the easiest part to take off first because all of the main parts are attached on the other side. So once you've got that part off, you can go ahead and set that aside and start worrying about getting these out of there. So the main PCB board is held in by 3 screws. So I want to remove those. And then the next thing I like to do is to free the battery case wires. And originally they were held in these little tiny little hold downs, I want to say. And I just took an X-Acto knife and just cut the plastic and just cut it away in 3 different places. Sorry if that was out of frame. But 1, 2, 3. And then once you cut those out, don't worry about those as far as not being able to have another one. But you're just going to want to take that out, and then you can actually free the board. And to get the board out, you're going to actually need to remove the switch. It's just kind of slid on there. So you just take a flathead screwdriver and simply remove that, and then it'll come right out. So the next part to getting this out, you can either take out the steering assembly or the throttle assembly. I'm going to go ahead and take out the throttle assembly first. Try to get this out of the way for you guys. But it is held in by 2 screws. So simply take those out. And then once you got the screws removed, simple as that. And the last part of the transmitter, I don't want to pull those wires too much, but the last part is the actual steering column, and that is held in by 2 screws, one up here, one down here, and then just want to take those out. And then after that, a little bit of wiggling, you can take that right out. And then you've got your whole entire transmitter in a bunch of pieces. So just set all of this aside. So you're left with 2 halves of a transmitter with no internals, and there's no way of getting the steering out. So what you're going to want to do is just take off the little foam ring, just because if you're going to be painting around here, you don't want to paint over that, because this is going to look pretty stupid if it's the same color as all of the other ones. So just take that off, and if you really want to, mask all this off to where it won't be touched by the main color. So the next thing you're going to want to do is mask off all of the little stickers. Now, you personally don't have to do this, but I am, just because I want to make it look just as much like the original radio, just a different color, and not just a whole one color. So I'm going to mask those off. I'm going to mask around the steering wheel, just the little LOSI emblem. I'm going to try to get in there around those little hex heads. And I've already done one half, but you're just going to see. And with a little bit of time and patience, you can get this perfectly. All the wheel and all the stickers. And got my 2 body halves done. And I'll be ready for my first main color, which I'm going to be doing a flat white. So just do thin coats, and that's my first thin coat, and I'm just gonna want to wait for that to dry for about 30 minutes. I've got it out in the sun, so it'll dry pretty fast, actually almost instantly. Yeah, that's already a pretty touch dry, but I'm gonna wait like 5 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and just do a bunch of little tiny thin coats, because that's the way I found to get the best thin and all around just best color. So I finished up my white, and what I've decided to do is go ahead and, for the grips where your fingers are going to be, I was trying to think of something that would help and be really comfortable, and I had some liquid plasti dip, which is kind of a rubbery substance, I guess you can say. So I'm going to go ahead and mask everything off except for that. And I'm going to paint it with plastic dip just where it'll feel really nice and it'll have a little bit of a rubberized texture. So I'm actually going to be using this kind of mask this time, because it's got the... Yeah, I'm going to be using this. And after 1 hour, I got that much done. So let's just say, guys, this is a really long process just to do these 2 little things. It was actually quite hard to get perfect. So if you're wanting to do this, as far as the grips and everything, it's going to be a pretty long project. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and paint this with my plasti dip, and I'm going to go ahead and mask out the other side too. I just did one side, but so I've got one hot half that's dry, and I'm going to go and take off the mask and see how it turned out. And you can put it back together. So one thing I'd like to mention is that when you're putting it back together, there is a little tab that actually is where the antenna screws into. And there's a little place that you have to put it in. It's got a little divot, I guess you can call it. And you're just going to want to put that in there before you put your circuit board back in. You're also going to want to route the little battery leads back into their little slots, and then I just am going to put a little bit of hot glue over them, and this is the finished product. So if you like it, remember to subscribe, and if you have any suggestions on other transmitters I should make a video on how to paint, leave a comment down in the comments box below. And yeah, thanks for watching. This is a really cool project, that can be done over the weekend, and will make your transmitter just a lot more awesome looking, and also will make it more functional as far as feeling better, and will let you have a little bit better grip. So, thanks for watching, guys.